Welcome back to part 2, the old door upcycling. Take those off so you can see me again. So we've got some work to do today. It's going to be a hot one, so we're going to get on with it this morning. I've been and bought some paint. I'm not going to reveal it yet, but I was talking about black, and then we talked about grey. So we've got some really nice paint. Yeah, I'm going to just show you around and show you what we did last time, and then see what we need to do, and then I'll crack on.
Dadskillz, 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 Dadskillz.
Okay, let's have a look what we've got going on. So, we've got the old chop saw out today.
Chop, chop.
I've been and bought some wood for strengthening, because what I wanted to do was use only the door, but it was going to be way too weak. So I've already started putting in a cross piece in there, and there will be another one going down here, and then also because we've got this, a lot of these panels had cracks in. If you sat on that, you go straight through it or get a splinter in your bum, which is not what we want to do. So under here it'll be a ladder, and it'll stiffen all that up immensely. Now here, there's all sorts of bits we've got to do today. So you see here, that's loose. There's screws needed everywhere. There's another crack there. Yeah, so we've got a lot to do. So I will put you on time lapse, and we'll see where we get to.
Chop, chop. So, so. Guru. So, so. Chop, chop. Guru.
Right, we're getting there, but as you can see, this thing is falling apart before my very eyes. So we've got to keep going with the strengthening. So this will be taken care of with the support from underneath. We're starting to get there now. You see, I've got the old glue gun out, the old Gorilla Glue out in places. It's just a lot of screws, but I think we'll get there. It just looks it just looks a little rough at the moment, doesn't it? But we'll keep going. Right, let's have a look at what we've got. Well, I'm relatively happy with that. I think that chassis at the bottom is really going to help stiffen it all up. Yeah, it's certainly put a bit of stiffness back in it. It's brought all this back up. That's level. I reckon even I can sit on that, which is saying something. So it can take 19 stone at least. Right, I'm going to have one last look around it to see what more strengthening I can do. Now you will have noticed I will have been knocking bits of wood around with that. Now if you were doing something that needed a bit more finesse, you would use maybe a rubber mallet or place a piece of wood there and hit it. But I was using this hammer because I actually want quite a distressed look, and when I say distressed, I mean knackered. So move out the way, Walty. So I will go round, because these new pieces of wood, not particularly the look I'm after. So I will go round and distress it back to the old corner, and when it's finished, it will look really nice. Right, I'm going to get on seeing what else I can strengthen. If I need to strengthen anything else, then I'll come back to you. Right, okay, I reckon that's all the strengthening I can do. I reckon it's all the strengthening I need to do. Because, yeah, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do now is anywhere that is going to flex, possibly, we'll get cork in, decorator's cork, put in it, so that it will move but won't crack the paint. There's all sorts of places. And then anywhere like these sort of joints that need some decent filling, I've got a little trick up my sleeve for those sort of holes.
Fill, 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 fill.
A few moments later.
Right, okay. So I've absolutely corked it to death in the places that are going to flex, and it's getting really hot now, so I'm going to leave it till a bit later when the corking's dry. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, but I'll come back to it, and then I'll fill anything that needs filling with some decent filler, and I'll take you through that when I do that. That's quite interesting. And so this literally is just to go in the cracks, and a lot of this, all this area here, will get sanded within an inch of his life. So this corking really is just to go in the crack. All these screw holes will be filled in, and that's the nice bit. Then when you start painting it, it stops looking rough as the proverbial badger's back end, and really starts looking good then. But this in-between bit, the preparation, oh god, it looks rough as anything, doesn't it? Now the aim of this project wasn't to make something a perfect piece of furniture. It was to make something that looked rustic, a bit of rustic charm that was safe to use. And I think with all the strengthening work I've done, it is, and I can sit on it, so if it can take me, we should be all right. So what do you think? Do you think you could make something like this? I think you could. I think you could, given a few basic tools. I think you'd be all right at this. So I picked this door up for free, and I started looking on eBay, because I used to do this during the winter. This was like winter projects, and I made a couple of these which turned out really nice, but that was with doors that I bought, but they're not expensive. They're like maybe 20 quid up to 45 quid on eBay, which when you think you're getting a Victorian piece of internal furniture from a house, that's not bad really, is it? And that wood has seen 100 years of action, so it looks pretty distressed and pretty cool anyway. So I started making this sort of stuff, but I started making bigger things, and because we've only got a small house and the shed is big but not big enough, I stopped, because I was about 200 years out of date with the old brown furniture, but I enjoyed making it. Right, that's looking nice. Just this bit. So yeah, so the colour I picked, because I was gonna go black, and then I talked to the missus and she suggested grey, which is very popular at the minute. And the trouble is, if you say something is very popular to me, it's possibly the last thing I'm going to do. So went off that idea. And I found a colour that I think I can make a really nice contrasting cushion with, and it will look retro, I think is the word. It won't look old-fashioned, it will look vintage with that modern touch, which I think will be pretty cool. I'll be back in a sec. Right. Much needed cup of tea. I don't know why it's always Christmas in our house, but it always seems to be. Right, more corking to take off. Yeah, so all this stuff on there, look at all these cracks I'm filling. I don't want to get rid of the cracks, that's the point, because that gives it that certain look I'm after. But it helps them flex in a way that won't crack the paint, and in a way that won't put a splinter in your bum, which is quite useful. I should have brought my kneeler with me, shouldn't I, to do this? Save the old knees. Something that I'm constantly amazed at doing these videos is how kind everyone's been on YouTube. Especially, I'll give a shout out to Joseph Holder. Always comments on my videos, awesome comments. That is so appreciated. You won't know how much that means to a creator. Just gives you that bit of confidence to keep going and that you're on the right lines. So thanks for that, Joseph. It is much appreciated. And that underside is done. So, some tea. I think that's it for corking. I'm going to leave it now. It's drying pretty quick. I'm going to see if I've got any of my special filler, wood filler, and then we will reconvene.
Cue SpongeBob time card.
Eventually.
It is a couple of days later. In the meantime, I went round it, and anywhere I could find a hole, I stuck some of that Gorilla Glue in it. And now, if you'll demonstrate, please. It is as solid as a rock now. So give it a wiggle. Yeah, it's going nowhere, isn't it? Give it a little bounce on it. All we're going to do today is we're going to reveal what the sort of filler is we're going to use.
Fill.
The sort of filler we are using is ta-da, big boy.
Body fill. Fill.
And it's actually car filler, isn't it? Car body filler. But it dries so hard, it goes off as hard as nails. It's brilliant stuff. So that's what we're going to use to fill it. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a very quick go round it now. Just everything that's nice and easy, all the screw holes and things. And then that'll be the end for this video. And then we'll come back to it, sand it down, sand the whole thing down. And then we'll give it another good filling, and then we'll be somewhere near then after we've sanded that down. So let's make this filler up. Do you know how to mix this filler? So as Ed China would say, it's a golf ball of filler to a pea of hardener. So it all comes in one thing really. You can use what you're given. So we'll take out enough that we think we're going to need this time.
Smells strong.
It is strong. It smells nice, doesn't it? It reminds me of doing my first car up and things. Right, okay, well I'm going to say we're going to go with that. So, right, say goodbye to big boy. All right, that's a golf ball. Just to be sure. Right, we'll start mixing it. How do you know when it's mixed? Because it'll all look pink. You've got to work with it very quickly. But you can sand it very quickly. And, you know, you can get
Doesn't look very pink.
3 or 4. Well, it's changed colour from white. So me and him are going to fill all the holes that are easy to fill. Then we'll come back to you and show you. And that'll be it. Right, okay then, him. How was your first filling with car body filler? Did you get much on your hands? Let's have a look.
Fill. Open it up.
So the good thing about this stuff is it will set it on these things and in that bowl, and then you just sort of flex the bowl, and it just peels off. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we got around most of it, didn't we?
And that side isn't finished.
No?
No.
That's all right, we'll come back to that then. Yeah. So we've made a start on filling. It still looks really rough at the minute, and it will do. But part 3, we'll carry on with the filling, the sanding,
Sand.
and we'll get to the painting as well. But yeah, it's going to look really cool in the end. It just takes a bit of work, that's all. Oh, are you a good boy? Can you be a good boy? Yes, I'm a good boy. Apart from when I wee up the bench. Amazing. Thanks, Walter. Happy to help. Oh, good boy.
Chop.